Hello everyone, this is Dr. Vani and welcome to E3 STEM Academy. Today we'll be learning about the degree of a polynomial. When we were talking about polynomials, we talked about monomials, binomials, trinomials, and in general polynomials, right? And I also told you that a monomial is an expression with one term. So whenever an expression has only one term in it, we call that a monomial. For example, 8ab, that's a monomial. Negative 2x squared, that's a monomial. 5y cubed, that's a monomial. So keep in mind that whenever you have only one term, it can have n number of variables in it, right? So for example, if you look at this term 8ab, you have two variables in this. It doesn't matter how many variables you have, but if it has only one term, then we call that a monomial, okay? Binomial is an expression that has two terms. For example, 4x squared plus 3. 7xy minus 2x. These are binomials. They have two terms. So if you look at the first example, it has two terms, right? It has 4x squared, that is one term. 3 is another term. Same way here, 7xy is one term. Negative 2x is another term. So whenever you have two terms in an expression, we call that a binomial. A trinomial is an expression with three terms. So if you have 7xy plus 3ab minus 2c, that's a trinomial. We have three terms. 7xy is one term, 3ab is another term, negative 2c is the third term. So when you have three terms, we call that a trinomial. When you have more than three, in general, we call them as polynomials. Okay, so polynomial, let's say you have 2ab minus 7bc plus 6c minus 2b. That's a polynomial. Okay, we have four terms in this polynomial. So whenever we are talking about polynomials, you have to clearly understand two things. Number one, what type of polynomial is it? Is it a monomial? Is it a binomial? Is it a trinomial? Or is it a polynomial in general? That means more than three terms, we call that as simply a polynomial. The second thing is degree of a polynomial, right? So the degree of a polynomial is the highest exponent of a variable in a given expression. So when you look at an expression, for example, let's say you have an expression 2x squared minus 3x plus 2. The variable in this expression is x. We only have one variable in this expression. So we look at the exponent of that variable. So if you look at 2x squared, the exponent here is 2, right? So the exponent here is 2. If you look at negative 3x, the exponent here is 1. When you don't have any exponent for x, that means the exponent is 1. And when you look at the third term, which is 2, you see that there is no variable. So what is the exponent of the variable in here? It is simply x to the power of 0. When you don't have any variable and you have only constant, that means the power of x, the exponent of the variable, is actually 0. So when we are talking about the degree of the polynomial, we are talking about the highest exponent. So if you notice here, the highest exponent is 2. So the degree of this polynomial is 2. We call this a second degree polynomial. Okay, we call this a second degree polynomial. That means the degree of this polynomial is 2. The highest exponent of the variable in this polynomial is 2. Okay, let's do some practice. So go ahead and first try these on your own. I want you to classify these polynomials. That means I want you to tell me whether this polynomial is a monomial, binomial, trinomial, or simply a polynomial with more than 3 terms, right? So if it's more than 3 terms, then you simply call that as a polynomial. And I also want you to tell me what is the degree of this polynomial. So I want 2 things. I want you to tell me what type of polynomial is this, and what is the degree of this polynomial? Go ahead. So let's look at A. Negative 5x to the 6 plus 4x to the 4th plus 2x squared. So now first understand how many terms are in this polynomial. So you notice that there are 3 terms, right? 1, 2, and 3. So there are 3 terms in this polynomial. And so this is a trinomial. You got this right? Pat yourself. The next thing you need to know is what is the degree of this polynomial. Now, if you notice, there's only one variable in this expression. And they're all different exponents, right? There are no similar exponents. That means there are no like terms. So I'm going to go ahead and look at the highest degree of the variable in this expression. So here in the first term, you have x to the 6th, second, x to the 4th, third, x to the 2nd. That means the degree of this polynomial is 6. So the degree is 6. This is a 6th degree polynomial. Okay, let's look at the next one. This one is interesting, right? Because there is more than one variable in this expression. You notice that there are in fact 3 variables. You have A, B, C. There are 3 variables in this expression. And how many terms are in this expression? You have 9a squared, b squared, c squared plus 8abc plus 7a cubed, b cubed, c cubed minus 8abc. Now, first and foremost thing, pay attention to the given problem, right? Given expression, and see if you can find any like terms. Do you see any like terms in here? So yes, there are like terms, right? Which ones are those? You have 8abc and you have negative 8abc. So you can combine those two. So 8abc minus 8abc are simply going to cancel, or in other words, it's going to be 0 when you add these two. So those are gone. So you are now left with 9a squared, b squared, c squared plus 7a cubed, b cubed, c cubed. So now you see that there are only 2 terms in this expression. So this given polynomial is actually a binomial. Okay, this given polynomial is actually a binomial. Even though you noticed to begin with there are 4 terms, this polynomial can be reduced. It can be reduced to just 2 terms, and therefore it is a binomial. Now, the challenging part is how do we determine the degree of this polynomial? Because here we have 3 different variables. If you have had only one variable, it would have been very easy. All that you would do is look for the highest exponent. But here you have more than one variable. That means in this particular problem, you have 3 variables. If you come across a situation of this kind, what you need to do is add the exponents in each of the terms. So if you look here, it's a squared, b squared, c squared. So you're going to add 2 plus 2 plus 2. And so here, the exponent is actually 6. If you look here, it is 3 plus 3 plus 3. And that's going to be 9, right? That's going to be 9. So here it is 6 and here it is 9. So the highest exponent, we always go by the highest exponent when we are talking about the degree of the polynomial, right? So you have 6 and 9. That means the degree of this polynomial is actually 9. So it is a 9th degree polynomial. Is that clear? So this is a 9th degree polynomial. So the degree here is 9. Good. Now let's look at C. Negative 7xy. Even though you have two variables, this is a single term. There's only one term in this expression. There's only one term, and therefore this is a monomial. Now the question is, what is the degree of this polynomial, or what is the degree of this monomial, to be more specific? I told you, when you have more than one variable, you add the exponents. So you have x to the power of 1, y to the power of 1. So the degree of this polynomial is 2. Now look at D. 4x minus 7x cubed plus x to the 4th plus 11x squared minus 12. Look through the expression to see if you have any like terms. And you will notice that there are no like terms in this expression. Now you see that there is more than 3 terms in this expression. So this is simply a polynomial. And what is the degree of this polynomial? You go by the highest exponent. So the degree of this polynomial is 4. This is, to be more specific, we say that it is a 4th degree polynomial. When we name it, we say it is 4th degree polynomial. Now let's look at E. X cubed minus 2x squared minus 15x plus x cubed minus x squared minus 8x. It's a lengthy polynomial, right? But you can clearly see that there are like terms. You see that there is x cubed here, x cubed here. So I can combine those two. X cubed plus x cubed is going to be 2x cubed. Then I also see that there is negative 2x squared and negative x squared. So negative 2x squared minus x squared is going to be negative 3x squared. And I see negative 15x and negative 8x. So negative 15x minus 8x is going to be negative 23x. So even though you see that there are so many terms in this polynomial, you see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There are 6 terms in the given polynomial. But when you reduce it, you have a trinomial. So what they gave you is simply a trinomial in an expanded form. So when you actually reduce it, it reduces down to a trinomial. Okay, now you look at the degree of this polynomial. So by now you should have figured it out. The degree of this polynomial is, what is it? Anybody?
Is it 3?
3. The degree of this polynomial is 3. It's a 3rd degree trinomial. When they ask for the name of this polynomial, it is a 3rd degree trinomial. That's what you should say. Okay? You will sound very smart. is instead of saying simply a polynomial, you will call that actually as a third degree trinomial. Okay, now let's look at the next one. You have x cubed minus 4x plus 12 minus 3x squared plus 8x cubed plus 5x. Again, see how many terms are in this given expression. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There are 6 terms in this given expression. However, you notice that there are like terms. So we're going to go ahead and combine like terms first. So whenever they say classify this polynomial, name this polynomial, give the degree of this polynomial, first thing you need to look for is, are there any like terms in this polynomial? Are there any terms that are similar? So you look for like terms and you combine them first. So I'm going to combine x cubed plus x cubed. So that is going to be 2x cubed, negative 4x plus 5x. So that is going to be plus x. And even before we combine those, I also see that there is negative 3x squared. So I'm going to write that first because there is no other like term for x squared. So I'm going to write that as it is. So negative x plus 5x, negative 4x plus 5x is going to be plus x plus 12. So what would be the name of this polynomial? Can somebody give me the name of this polynomial?
It's just a polynomial.
It's just a polynomial? Can you give me a much more specific name? What is the degree of this polynomial?
Oh, it is a polynomial with a degree of 3.
So we call that a third degree polynomial. So yes, this is a polynomial, but to be more specific, let's write down what is its degree. The degree is 3 because the highest exponent is 3, right? So the degree is 3. So we call this as third degree polynomial. Okay, it's called third degree polynomial. Let's look at the last one. 1 second, I think Akshita joined. Okay, so let's look at G. Negative 7x squared y cubed plus 8x cubed minus 3y cubed plus 4xy. What is the name of this polynomial? Anybody?
Third degree polynomial. Or
It's a third degree polynomial. Any other answers?
Would it
Okay, Bella says this is a third degree polynomial. Any other answers?
Isn't this a third degree trinomial?
This is a third degree trinomial. Okay. Any other answers?
Fifth degree
It's a fifth degree what?
polynomial. Yeah.
It's a fifth degree polynomial. Okay. Any other answers? All right. Let's look at it. So it's negative 7x squared y cubed plus 8x cubed minus 3y cubed plus 4xy. Now, like I said, you see that there are 4 terms here, right? The next thing you need to look at is, are there any like terms? Do you see any like terms? You see that there is x cubed, but then this is y cubed. You cannot combine because they are 2 different variables. Even though the exponent is the same, they're 2 different variables, so you cannot combine them. So this is actually a polynomial with 4 terms. This is a polynomial with 4 terms. But to be more specific, we need to know the degree of this polynomial so you can give a clear name to this polynomial, right? So if you look at this, if you want to determine the degree, you see that there are 2 different variables. So I'm going to add the exponents of these variables. So here it is 3 plus 2, which is going to be 5. Here it is 3. In the third term, it is 3. I'm simply writing the exponents, okay, so that we can determine the degree of this polynomial. And here you have 1 plus 1, so this is going to be 2. Now, if you look at the highest exponent, it is 5. So this is a 5th degree polynomial. So the degree is 5, and therefore this is a 5th degree polynomial. I hope it is clear. So I have 6. Is this a polynomial? It is a polynomial, okay? And to be more specific, it is a monomial. It's a single term expression. Now, if I ask you, what is the degree of this monomial? What would be your answer? I told you that when we are talking about the degree of a polynomial, we are looking at the power or the exponent of the variable. And here you see that there is no variable, right? If there is no variable and if it's just a constant, I told you, what does that mean? That means that the power of the exponent is, the power of the variable is 0. The power of the variable is 0. So the degree of this polynomial is 0. This is a 0 degree monomial. A constant, whenever you see a number or numerical value, it is still a kind of polynomial and it is a monomial. The degree of this monomial is 0. Okay, let's say I give you what is the degree of this polynomial? Vidhi, what is the degree of this polynomial?
That's 5.
Very good. The degree of this polynomial is 5. Because if you notice here, you have 2 variables, x and y. So in this third term, negative 6x squared y cubed, you add the 2 and therefore the degree of this polynomial is actually 5 because that is the highest exponent, right? So this is a 5th degree trinomial. This is a 5th degree trinomial. Okay, I hope determining the degree of a polynomial is clear to you. You now can name any given polynomial.